This just happened within the last minute or so. The National Weather Service out of Binghamton has issued a tornado warning. This does include central Madison County and now includes central parts of Oneida County. This is the area shaded in red. So we're talking about Stockbridge heading up towards Kirkland, Paris, right along Route 26, as well as Route 5. This area is under that tornado warning until 6 p.m. This also includes Vernon, just outside the city of Utica, but also includes Westmoreland. So I'm going to put a track on this storm for you as it continues to push to the north and to the east. I'm going to take off the lightning for you and track this storm as it makes its way to the north and east at about 35 miles per hour. It's going to be near Stockbridge at 5:45, so pretty much knocking on the doorstep of Stockbridge, 6:15 in Kirkland, and I've extended this outside of the warning area just to give people a heads up. 6:25 in New Hartford. Now, this is a rotation indicated by radar, so it is not a confirmed tornado at this point in time, but the National Weather Service has noticed that there is some rotation with this thunderstorm, and I'm going to show you that right now, what they are actually looking at. So you can see just to the west of Stockbridge, as you head towards Smithfield, between Morris and Nelson, you notice the reds and the greens showing up. That indicates outbound and inbound rotation, or the air is spinning aloft. So even though we do not have a confirmed report of a tornado or a funnel cloud, the radar is indicating that there is some rotation. This is right along Route 20 between Nelson and Morrisville. It is heading to the north and to the east. So if you live in areas like Smithfield, you definitely want to take cover at this point in time along Route 46, so Stockbridge as well. Now, with a tornado and a tornado warning, you just want to be aware that you want to take cover. So you want to head indoors, you want to get in an interior part of your room, and if you can, head to a basement. So again, we do have that tornado warning that has been issued for Madison and parts of Oneida County. My biggest area of concern right now is areas like Morrisville, Smithfield, Pratt's, just making its way towards Nelson. Now, our radar is on about a 5-minute delay, so the towns I'm telling you right now are being impacted by this severe thunderstorm that has the possibility for a tornado to form. Again, it is heading to the north and to the east. So if you live in areas like Stockbridge along Route 46, you want to take cover at this point in time. And then as we make our way closer to Oneida County, areas like Valley Mills and Augusta along Route 26, as you make your way towards Knoxville Road, Deansboro, as well as Franklin Springs, Bennett's Corners. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning extends now into Oneida County. We've been tracking this storm probably for the last hour or so, and there has been some damage reports along with this storm, with winds gusting over 60 miles per hour. On top of that, we've also had heavy rain. So I'm going to put that rainfall up on the screen for you. So you notice, let me take the lightning off. If you notice the deeper reds showing up, that indicates some pockets of some very heavy rain. Rainfalls over 1 inch an hour. So that could lead to perhaps some flash flooding and ponding on the roadways. I am also looking at the potential for some frequent lightning. So I'm gonna put that lightning back up. You'll notice numerous lightning strikes within the last hour, so there is potential for frequent lightning associated with this thunderstorm, along with those damaging winds as well as your heavy rain. So we're going to put that velocity scan back on and take that lightning off just to show you. Again, this is the area of concern right now. It is moving to the north and to the east. So we'll put a track on this again as it heads to the north and to the east. So it is making its way towards Stockbridge and making its way closer towards parts of Oneida County. So Stockbridge at 5:51. And then we're heading towards Kirkland. So areas in the Kirkland region, you definitely want to take cover. You have potential to see damaging wind as well as frequent lightning. So we do advise you to head indoors, away from windows. If possible, you want to go into an interior room where there are any windows, so like a bathroom. Or if you have the opportunity to do so, you want to head into your basement. Again, we do have that tornado warning that has been issued for parts of Madison County and into Oneida County. So we're going to zoom out and show you exactly where this storm is. So it is outside of the Utica-Rome area. So as we go throughout the next half hour or so, we're going to keep an eye on the potential for that tornado warning to expand. But at this point in time, Utica is not under the tornado warning, either is Rome. But you're just on the outskirts of that warning, so I would take precautions at this point in time. On top of this tornado warning, we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in parts of northeastern Oneida County. This does include Boonville, as well as up towards Forestport, just north of Remsen. It is moving to the north and to the east as well. It is also impacting Lewis County like Leiden and Lyonsdale. We are also tracking this storm as it heads to the north and east, so Old Forge will be impacted at some point in time, as well as White Lake and Otter Lake. But our big focus is that tornado warning. Again, a tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service. This is for Madison and parts of Oneida County. This warning extends until 6 p.m., so you'll hear me talk about this warning until it expires at 6 p.m. So we are tracking this area with heavy rain as well as frequent lightning, but our biggest concern is what we call velocity or rotation. So I'm going to take the lightning off for you and take a look at where that rotation is at this point in time. You can see it's just south of Peterborough, just north of Morrisville, and it's heading to the north and to the east. So again, our areas of concern include Stockbridge, and as you head up north, we're talking about Augusta into Oneida County, Vernon, Kirkland, Paris, any of those areas you want to take cover at this point in time, as there is indication of rotation. Again, we do not have a confirmation of a tornado or a radar confirmation of a tornado. We're just looking at the wind speeds aloft, and we are noticing that there is that rotation with that wind speed across central New York. So we are keeping a close eye on the potential for this thunderstorm to produce a tornado. It is not definite, but you want to take this seriously. So if you are under that tornado warning, again, this includes Stockbridge, Vernon, Kirkland, Westmoreland, Paris, as you head along 12B to the south, heading towards areas like Deansboro, also under that Marshall, Augusta, just outside of Oneida, but if I lived in Oneida, I would also take cover. Again, it's just on the outskirts of Utica. So that severe thunderstorm that may produce a tornado is just to the south and west of the Utica area, but we are going to keep an eye on the track of this storm as it continues to make its way into parts of Oneida County. The storm right now is still in Madison County, but it is moving to the north and to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So it will be impacting areas as we head towards Stockbridge and Augusta. We are going to continue to track this storm as we head into the next 15 minutes as that tornado warning continues until 6 p.m. So I'm going to put a track on this again for you just to give you guys aware of where this storm is heading. Again, it's impacting Stockbridge pretty much at this point in time. It is moving to the north and east, again about 35 miles per hour. So it, again, will be in Franklin Springs at 6:11 and Kirkland at 6:15, but has the potential to extend past that warning area. So areas like New Hartford, I would definitely take precautions at this point in time. Head indoors, definitely want to take cover, interior part of your room. Or if you have a basement, head to your basement. You want to stay away from windows during this tornado warning. So again, this tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service until 6 p.m. And we are looking at that rotation just to the east, just to the west of Stockbridge, where you see those greens and those reds. That indicates rotation with radar. Again, no confirmation with this tornado warning, but there is indication that there is rotation associated with that. So as we look at our radar, again, lots of lightning associated with this storm. So even if there is not a confirmation of a tornado, do expect damaging winds. So we're talking about winds over 60 miles per hour. We could also see very heavy rain associated with this storm. You notice the reds and oranges showing up, but you'll also notice the lightning strikes. Frequent lightning has been associated with this storm. I know a viewer sent us a lightning strike from an earlier storm in Tabor. There is cloud to ground lightning, so that is also a part of this storm, so definitely want to take precautions and head indoors. Now this storm is knocking on the doorstep and making its way towards parts of Oneida County. So If you head towards Augusta, Deansboro is in that warning area, Kirkland, Vernon, Bennett's Corners, so along Route 12B. If you're heading across Oneida County, Chuckery Corners down towards Paris. This is the area of concern. This also includes Route 5 from Kirkland all the way back towards Oneida. So if you are traveling or plan to travel along Route 5 from Kirkland to Oneida, I highly recommend staying home at this point in time, because on top of the potential for damaging wind, we're talking about very heavy rain, and with that heavy rain, you could have reduced visibility on the roadways, as well as hydroplaning and ponding on the road. So again, in this tornado area, you definitely want to seek shelter. This includes areas of Paris as well as Kirkland, Vernon, Augusta, Stockbridge. You're seeing that storm right now. I'm going to zoom out just to show you that it is still to the south and west of the Utica area. So Utica, you can see, is just outside of that warning area. Now, because Utica is not in that warning, that doesn't mean you don't do anything. You want to take precaution, even though that storm is still to the west. Give yourself some time to take the safety precautions. You want to head indoors. You want to make sure you stay away from windows. You want to get into an interior part of your house that usually is a bathroom where there is less windows, or if you have the opportunity to do so, you want to head to your basement. So we do have that tornado warning that has been issued until 6 p.m. This includes Madison County, so the area in the red square. I'm actually going to take off the radar so you can see where that warning is, as well as the lightning. So there you go. There's the area of concern in red. We are going to see more in the way of some red as we head throughout the next half hour or so. And now I'm going to toss it to Bill for a second.
Yeah, Jill, this is Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis here. I'm kind of just behind the scenes, just looking at some of the data. Just wanted to bring something to our attention here. Go to the north, that storm in northeastern Oneida County. Mm-hmm. It's not under a tornado warning, but there's been a lot of rotation with that and a lot of lightning strikes. It's right near Forestport.
Yep, I'll circle it.
So I know that it's not under a warning, but it's been really suspicious here, and I've been watching it over the last couple of scans since you've been on covering this tornado warning. But I think it's worth just kind of jumping in here to point that out. Also, too, I've been watching the debris tracker for that tornado warning too. I haven't seen anything suspicious. Haven't been able to pick out any debris. Doesn't mean it's not necessarily on the ground or not, but we don't have a debris signature yet.
Yeah, so this storm that Bill was just talking about, even though it is a severe thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorms also mean that there is a possibility of a tornado to happen. So what I circled right here, what you're seeing on your screen, you are seeing those greens and reds, and this is what I've been talking about. This is radar indicated rotation. So the radar picks up on those winds, and the winds are going inbound and outbound in a circular pattern. So as a meteorologist, when we see something like this, especially how close those reds and greens are next to each other, indicates some rotation. So as Bill said, you will notice those reds and greens showing up. And what I also want to show, as Bill was talking about, we were just discussing this off camera, but if I take away the radar, and you will notice that this box, even though it is outlined in orange, it is highlighted in red. What that means is that is a severe thunderstorm warning that has the potential to produce a tornado. So the National Weather Service issues these severe thunderstorm warnings, but puts a special indicator to say that there is potential for tornadic activity. So if you live in this location, they just moved this warning just a little bit, but if you live in Forestport, or if you're along Route 28, so Woodgate, Boonville, you're not out of the woods just yet, and even up Route 28 as you head closer to Otter Lake, White Lake, up across the Adirondacks, I still would take cover at this point in time, even though you're not under that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern parts of Oneida County does include Boonville as well as Forestport, and we are looking at that velocity, again, where those reds and greens are close together, and that is pretty much right over Forestport at this point in time. So if you do live in Forestport, please take cover at this point in time, right along Route 28. Again, head to a basement or an interior part of your house, as we are seeing that indication of some rotation. So even though the National Weather Service has not issued a tornado warning, We are seeing that rotation indicated by the Doppler radar. We're also looking at rotation down to our south. So you will notice the difference. So you see just to the west of Stockbridge, you see some greens and reds. We're actually up towards the North Country. That actually looks more significant, I think, and Bill thinks as well, compared to down across the southern part and western part of Oneida County. But the National Weather Service did issue that tornado warning for parts of southwestern parts of Oneida County until 6 p.m. So we got about 7 more minutes with that tornado warning. We will see if the National Weather Service extends this warning into more of Oneida County. But at this point in time, it does include areas like Stockbridge, Vernon, Kirkland, Paris, as you head up towards Westmoreland. So again, along the thruway from Westmoreland until you get to about Verona, as well as along Route 5 between Kirkland and Oneida. Even if there is no tornadic activity, it is still a severe thunderstorm that could have damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. And on top of that, if you stepped outside, you notice it is very humid out. So that indicates a lot of moisture in the air. And with that moisture means heavy, heavy rain. So we are tracking pockets of heavy rain as you head just south of Route 5 towards Kirkland, south as you head down towards Augusta, seeing that heavy rain, Deansboro, now making its way through Stockbridge as it pushes to the north and to the east. We're also going to look at the radar up north and look at this storm. On top of that, look at all the lightning associated with this severe thunderstorm in northeastern parts of Oneida County. And now that severe thunderstorm warning has been extended by the National Weather Service in Albany. And this includes areas just to the east of Forestport, so Atwell, North Wilmore. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So this area is also under that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this also includes Woodgate. Woodgate, you're seeing some very heavy rain at this point in time, as well as up Route 28, Otter Lake, also seeing that heavy rain. And as Bill indicated earlier, we have been watching some rotation with this storm. I'm going to take the lightning off for you. There has been some rotation with this storm just north of Forestport, pretty much right along Route 28 at this point in time where those reds and greens are close together. And that indicates that rotation or that circular formation up in the atmosphere. So it has not been indicated by any verbal confirmation, anything that anybody has seen, but radar has indicated the potential for some rotation with this storm. But our other biggest concern, again, is that tornado warning that has been issued until 6 p.m. for parts of Oneida County and into Madison County. This, again, includes Stockbridge. As you head just to the west, I think the end of that is now making its way through Smithfield as well as Peterborough, but Stockbridge, Augusta, and then heading into parts of Oneida County. This includes Route 26 as you're heading south towards Augusta, Vernon along Route 5. We're also seeing Franklin Springs, Kirkland, also seeing that heavy rain as well as damaging wind and frequent lightning. Again, a lot of lightning associated with these thunderstorms. And even if there's not a confirmed tornado, we could see still wind damage from this severe thunderstorm as winds have been over 60 miles per hour associated with this thunderstorm. So we do have that tornado warning that has been issued until 6 p.m. So we got about 3.5 minutes left of this tornado warning. We will see what the National Weather Service decides to do. And they just actually extended from this tornado warning. There's now a severe thunderstorm warning. Now this severe thunderstorm warning does include the Utica area up towards Marcy, Rome, and Floyd. So those locations are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. So while the tornado warning is just to the south and to the west of the area, there is now a severe thunderstorm warning that has been extended to the Rome area as well as Marcy, Floyd, Whitesboro, all the way back up to where they just had that severe thunderstorm up towards Trenton and Remsen. And again, we are keeping a close eye on this severe thunderstorm up towards Woodgate and Forestport along Route 28. This one has shown signs of rotation over the last probably 15 minutes or so. And we're still seeing that rotation just north of Forestport along Route 28. So again, there could be some damaging wind with this severe thunderstorm. And that severe thunderstorm warning, again, for parts of northeastern Oneida County goes until 6:15. But we do have that severe thunderstorm warning and that tornado warning for parts of Madison and Oneida County. Again, this does include Kirkland as well as Vernon, heading down towards Augusta. Stockbridge still under that tornado warning until 6 p.m. So we got about 2 more minutes. We're going to keep an eye and see what the National Weather Service decides to do with this tornado warning. I do believe they probably will expire it at 6 p.m. since they extended the severe thunderstorm warning into more of central New York. Again, we're going to put that radar on for you just to show you what is happening. So Marcy right now is dry. Utica, we're starting to see some rain, but again, you probably hear that thunder in the distance, and that heavy rain is knocking on your doorstep. So again, that severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Oneida County, again, that does include the Utica area, as well as New Hartford, Marcy, Whitesboro, will continue across the region. And this just in from the National Weather Service, they issued a tornado warning until 6:15 for the area that Bill has been watching this whole time. So again, up towards Forestport. So this is where we've been indicating that rotation, that signature rotation for a perhaps tornadic activity. Again, on our velocity scan, you will notice our biggest area of concern is just north of Forestport. So right here is where that indication of some rotation. So this is radar indicated, so there are no confirmations just yet with this tornado warning, but Bill has been tracking this probably for the last half hour or so and noticing that rotation. So it is a small part of Oneida County, but there has been, again, that rotation indicated in this area. So I'm going to put a track on this for you. Again, it's just making its way out of Forestport, heading north on Route 28. So if you live in the Woodgate area along Hawkinsville Road or along Route 28, you definitely want to take cover at this point in time, as well as Woodgate Road. This tornado warning is until 6:15. So again, this includes Forestport up towards Route 28, also includes Otter Lake. So if you do have a house on Otter Lake or a camp at Otter Lake and you are there, you want to take cover. Again, either by going to an interior part of your room, of your house, where there aren't any windows, or in your basement. What I want to zoom out just to make sure, down across, yes, so they did expire the tornado warning in Oneida County. So that tornado warning that we did have in Oneida County has been expired, and what the National Weather Service has noticed is that there isn't much rotation with this storm, so they switched it over to a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, does that mean it's less potent? No. We are still tracking strong winds with this thunderstorm, as well as heavy rain and frequent lightning. I know I took the lightning off, but there's a lot of lightning associated with this thunderstorm as it continues to move to the north and to the east. So I'm going to put a track on this storm for you. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45. Again, the tornado warning has expired, and the National Weather Service, just based on the data, has now put it to a severe thunderstorm warning. Still dangerous as it continues to move into the region. So this is going to impact areas like Rome, as well as New Hartford.
They extended it.
Thank you. Bill just got, sorry guys, we have a lot of information. They extended that tornado warning now into Herkimer County. This does include Atwell as well as North Wilmer. I don't know if there's any other towns that will show up on our radar. Again, this is just to the east of Forestport in Herkimer County. So this again includes Atwell as well as North Wilmer. This is until 6:30. Now the one we just got this in, you notice that pink around the the tornado warning. Let me take this off. Bill, if you confirm this with me, that does indicate a confirmed tornado. So if you notice the pink showing up on our warning system, so this area right here, this pink that includes Forestport and Woodgate, what that means is that this tornado has now been confirmed. So what that means is that the radar has indicated a debris ball, so to speak. So there's something in the air besides rain, and that is indicated by that wind. So we do have radar confirmed tornado for this tornado warning in northeastern Oneida County. Again, this tornado is now making its way towards Woodgate. It is also making its way towards Otter Lake, right along Route 28. So Route 28 So Bill, let me show this. Bill
Yeah,
just
I'm
shows
gonna jump in
Thank you.
here for you just to give you a breather. So just to clarify here, yep, that's what we're looking at. We have an ability with the radar to pick up debris. It's called correlation coefficient. And the bottom line is when you see something like that, when we have this strong rotation in this spot, we can confirm that there's one on the ground. It looks like it probably hit or moved close to Route 28. In fact, let's just kind of go backwards. I know we don't want to go backwards here, but just to kind of get our bearings here. So we have a couple of very suspicious images here, and the Weather Service is confirming this too. So it's not just us, that something happened, that there was a likely touchdown just north and east of Forestport. And we are very confident that that happened. So we don't know where the damage is. We're going to take some time to figure that out. We're going to have our news crews go into this. But we can tell that something was picking up debris with that strong rotation in that thunderstorm. So again, if you're in this area, you've got to take shelter. You've got to take shelter now. This could potentially be life-threatening. We are looking at the specific area now. It's moving into Herkimer County, so the rotation is really strong just to the east of Forestport, just about ready to make that jump across the county line. So again, if you live in this general area, take shelter. If you're underneath this tornado warning, we've been telling people to take these warnings seriously, but again, now we have something that we don't like to see here, at least some confirmation of a tornado that was on the ground at some point. We don't know if it's on the ground at the moment, but again, this is heading to the east. It's moving into Herkimer County. This tornado warning extended in Herkimer County until 6:30. This tornado warning continues for northeastern Oneida County until 6:15. Again, very strong rotation here that we are watching. And if you're in the path of this storm, again, get in shelter. Get into the basement, get into the lowest floor of your home if you don't have a basement. You're going to want to avoid windows. And again, a closet, a bathroom would be places to go. Again, if you're in this area, if you're not in the tornado warning, you're not in danger. But if you're in this area, these are the places that you need to take shelter.
I just looked on Google Maps because it's not really showing up on ours, but if you live along Meekerville Road as it crosses over into Herkimer County, O'Brien Road, North Lake Road, along Route 73, those are the areas you want to take cover right over the border between Forestport and as you head towards areas like North Wellmert as well as Atwell. So those are areas of concern at this point in time. Again, it is exiting the Forestport area and is now moving into parts of Herkimer County, again, just to the east of Forestport. So again, O'Brien Road, Lake Road, Meekerville Road, Bellinger Town Road, any of those roads, and you live on it, you want to take shelter at this point in time. Again, this is a confirmed tornado. We talked about earlier how radar indicates this stuff, but there is what we call debris in the air from this tornado. This is what Bill was showing you earlier. And with that, see that circle?
Yeah, it's right here. This is showing up really clearly. We don't like seeing stuff like that.
That means that there is debris in the air. So that means that something is putting that debris in the air, and that, of course, is a tornado. Now, it is crossing over right now into Herkimer County. Again, if you live in North Wellmert as well as Atwell, you want to take shelter at this point in time. Again, we do have a tornado warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service that is now confirmed, that is now in Herkimer County. This is until 6:30 p.m. The reason why I'm repeating this is sometimes the National Weather Service talks over us and you can't hear us because they have their own alert system. So we want to reiterate what is actually happening. So you will notice that it is confirmed and will continue to make its way into the region as we head into the next half hour. So we are going to be on air, Bill and I, until 6:30, until this tornado warning expires.
Yeah, and I just, to go back to the debris signature here, because this is going to be really helpful for us to get an idea of the danger going forward. So we confirmed that a tornado touched down very close to Forestport, and this was around 6 o'clock. Now it's 6:07. Doesn't necessarily, these things happen quickly. Most tornadoes are on the ground for a few minutes. Some of the longer ones, maybe 10, 15 minutes longer. So when we saw this signature, this is debris being lofted in the air. Going forward in time to the present moment, it does look like the debris signature is weakening, which means that whatever was on the ground is there's a lower chance of it being on the ground. That's a good sign still. What we've also learned is that tornadoes sometimes will hit the ground, they'll hit the ground again. As long as there was rotation, which this has been strongly rotating for quite a while, and as long as there's rotation with it, it could have the potential of producing a tornado. So it was confirmed earlier, a few moments ago, when it was in Oneida County. It's moving into Herkimer County, so the danger is now moving into Herkimer County. And just to give you some bearings here, because I know we have a lot of folks that watch us in Herkimer County, this is well north of the Mohawk Valley. If you're in the Mohawk Valley, you're not even close to this. If you were in Old Forge, you're also not part of this. I know a lot of folks, water safari gets out at 6:30. You're not in any danger of this at the moment if you live in these areas. But if you live in the central part of Herkimer County, these are the spots to watch. It's even north of Route 8, so I know this is a fairly remote area, but I know people do have camps up this way. Again, this tornado warning in effect until 6:30. And also, I just want to make sure that we are covering our bases here and we're not missing anything else. Okay, so we do have to watch this one too.
Yeah, but then we also have a severe thunderstorm warning that's impacting the Utica area also at this point in time. This does also include Rome, New Hartford, Whitesboro, Marcy. Even though this is not a tornado warning, it still has indication of some strong winds as well as frequent lightning. Also, a lot of rain, very heavy rain. The air is just full of moisture at this point in time. So we are keeping an eye on this area. So even though you're not under a tornado warning, still dangerous, you still want to head indoors and away from windows with these frequent lightning strikes. We're seeing a little bit of rotation, but nothing compared to what we saw up north.
Yeah, and the thing is too, on a day like today, there's so much wind shear in the atmosphere, and it's one of those things where you never let your guard down here. So this has been, now this is weekly rotating, this is not tornado warned. It's still, you've got to watch this. If you're in the path of this storm, we're going to watch this one closely too, because a lot of times these storms will weaken and then they'll spin up again. So things can change very, very quickly. So that's why we're going to continue to be on guard here. But again, the primary concern, the most dangerous storm in our area is the one moving into central northern Herkimer County. There was a confirmed tornado with this. We confirmed it with debris, the debris signature that we saw on the radar. So we know that there was damage that took place. We'll figure that out, where that took place later, when we can get some crews up there. But the danger right now is this part of Herkimer County until 6:30. A tornado warning means if you live in this area, you've got to get into shelter. It's a life-threatening situation because this did produce a tornado. And you've got to get into the basement. You've got to get into the lowest floor of your home, away from windows if you don't have a basement. And again, this is until 6:30 here in central Herkimer County.
And just for those who are tuning in, again, we have several warnings that have been issued, but you will notice, as Bill pointed out, this area in pink. So this was just about 10 minutes ago. There is a forest fort up right over Route 28. There was a confirmed tornado. We did see what we call a debris ball that's in the atmosphere. So there's debris from a tornado in the atmosphere. And that was radar indicated, so the National Weather Service did confirm a tornado. It now has crossed into Herkimer County. So again, this does impact areas north of Ohio. So we are talking about north of Route 8, but south of Old Forge. So again, north of Route 8, but south of Old Forge. So pretty much in central parts of Herkimer County, right to the east of Forestport. So this is North Wilmart as well as Atwell. And we did pull up some roads. So some roads that may be considered include Meekerville Road, as well as North Lake Road, O'Brien Road, Billinger Town Road. These are just some indications. I know, as Bill said, people may have camps up in this little area. I'm going to take the lightning off so we can just see that rotation. So we are seeing that rotation again across the region, just making its way just north of North Welmer. So between Atwell and Welmer is where that rotation is happening at this point in time. Again, we don't want to forget about the other severe thunderstorm warning that we do have that is impacting, again, the Utica area, just outside the Utica area, as well as parts of Franklin Springs, Westmoreland, seeing some very heavy rain right now, as well as up towards New Hartford, Whitestown, New York Mills, even impacting the Rome area. So this severe thunderstorm warning is until 6:45, and then we just got another severe thunderstorm warning. This is for south of the Utica area. This is for that storm that's now in the Hamilton region. This will be impacting areas like Sangerfield and Paris, as well as parts of Paris Station and Bridgewater. So we are keeping an eye on that as well. Bill just pointed this out to me, so I'm going to put this on for you guys. We have now noticed a bit of rotation with this storm in central parts of Oneida County, right here. I'm circling this right here. So right along 12B, right near Kirkland Ave, there is indication of some rotation at this point in time. So even though you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning, you want to take proper precautions. So you want to head into an interior part of your house, the lowest level. If you have a basement, you want to head to that basement area. As we are keeping an eye on that rotation just south of Kirkland, I want to put a loop on this actually and see where this is heading towards. So we're going to loop this one more time. It's heading right along Route 12B, heading towards Route 5. So as you head towards Kirkland, and as you head up towards Route 5 between Kirkland and New Hartford, Clark Mills, again, nothing is indicated at this point in time, but there is some rotation showing up on the radar along with the severe thunderstorm warning. This severe thunderstorm warning is until 6:45. And then we also have that tornado warning that is continuing. Again, this is north of Ohio into parts of north central Herkimer County, south of Old Forge. Again, we're still seeing some rotation just north of North Wilmer, as well as heading towards Atwell. So this is just to the east of Woodgate, as well as Forestport. We are seeing that rotation. When we talk about rotation, we're talking about the reds and the greens mixing together. So you see that there's that boundary between the red and the green. That means that there's outbound and inbound flow or wind flow or that rotating air that's being indicated by radar. So we are keeping a close eye on this tornado warning that has produced a tornado in Oneida County, again, just making its way through Forestport and Route 28. It's now moving into Herkimer County. So again, we're keeping a close eye on the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, we are seeing some rotation as you head towards Franklin Springs and Kirkland. Again, damaging wind, heavy rain, frequent lightning associated with this severe thunderstorm warning. And this severe thunderstorm warning is until 6:45. This includes Whitestown as well as Rome, Verona, heading towards Whitesboro, New Hartford, and then making its way towards Rome, Floyd, Howell Patton, Marcy. This is all under that same severe thunderstorm warning. And then we also have a severe thunderstorm warning now showing some rotation as well. Look at this, Bill. Near Georgetown, we are seeing some rotation on this severe thunderstorm as well. Now, this is heading pretty much just to the east of Route 26 in Madison County, making its way towards Hamilton and Earlville. Again, this is another severe thunderstorm warning. This one continues until 7 p.m.
So I'm gonna jump in here, Jill.
Yep.
While you've been keeping everybody up to date here, I've just been watching the radar images over that storm in Clinton and Westmoreland, and just seeing something suspicious here again. There's no tornado warning, so I don't want to go that far, but I've been just watching how it's been starting to curl up here, and it was rotating earlier. It's showing some signs of intensifying, and I know we got a lot of people that live in this area: Clinton, Kirkland, Westmoreland. There's no tornado warning here, but the storm is rotating. The rotation has been strengthening, and like we saw up in northeastern Oneida County, things can change quickly. Just because there's no tornado warning here, I'm going to ask people to, if you live in this area, we're going to be extra cautious on a day like today. We don't normally do this. We're not trying to be alarming. We're not trying to be over the top, but we understand the magnitude of the situation today, that this is not a normal day in Central New York. If you live in these areas, better safe than sorry. For the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to ask you to get into shelter until this thing blows through. Again, there's no official tornado warning here, but we've just seen too many suspicious signs in this general area, and I just don't like the way that this looks. So we'll continue to watch that. Like Jill mentioned, that storm in Madison County is also showing signs of rotation as well. The tornado warning has been dropped for Hamilton County, so that is some good news there. But again, the danger is not over now, and we're hoping that the signatures disappear. The thing that I'd be The happiest thing that I could see is if just the rotation stops and we're done.
They canceled the tornado warning for Herkimer County as well.
Yes.
I just got that.
Okay.
Okay. So that's one, that shows signs that it's weakening, but now we're also seeing signs that storms are now strengthening. So it's an ebb and flow type of situation, but we are seeing, again, those reds and greens close to each other in Madison County, indicating some rotation. So even though there is no tornado warning at this point in time, there could be some rotation with this storm. And as Bill said, we are keeping a close eye on the severe thunderstorm in parts of Oneida County. We're heading towards Franklin Spring, Kirkland. We're also seeing some rotation again along Route 5 near Kirkland. So again, if you live near Route 5 in Kirkland, just want to take cover, even though there is not a tornado warning at this point in time. Let's pretend and stay inside. So you want to stay in the interior part of your house where there are no windows or in your basement. As this severe thunderstorm warning continues until 6:45, we'll see what the National Weather Service decides to do with that.
Can I just
Yep.
jump right in here? I just want to make sure to do all of our due diligence here that we're not missing anything at all. So we're looking at the debris tracker here. That's hard to say. That's hard. So what we're looking at here is this bump. So we showed you that debris tracker earlier. I think there's a little bit of noise with that one. Let me look at different radar sites here. Okay, so that's good. So we're not getting anything with that one. I just want to make sure. No, yeah, we got to watch that one too. So we're not missing anything with this yet, but we have some suspicions here that this storm is rotating, and things, like I said, things can change very quickly here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Oneida County. The spot that we're watching really closely here, and again, there's no tornado warning, but there's signs of rotation with this storm. This is just to the west of New Hartford, and we'll change this over to the radar and show you that there's a lot of lightning.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the spot where we just got to keep an eye on things, and we're hoping that the next radar signature comes in and it looks better. But this is a spot where this storm has been weakly rotating. Again, no tornado warning at the moment, but we're getting some suspicious radar signatures here that kind of indicate that the storm is kind of wrapping up and that there's broad scale rotation. So there is some rotation with this, and at the very least, it is producing some very strong wind. And this is the storm you're going to want to be inside anyway, regardless of a tornado warning or just straight line winds. It doesn't matter if the winds are swirling or going straight. If they're strong, they're strong.
And plus, look at all that lightning.
There's plenty of lightning.
Yeah, you don't want to be outside in this type of area. There's tons of lightning, frequent lightning. We've had reports of cloud to ground lightning. So again, lots of lightning strikes with this. Along with that, you can also see some wind damage along the lines of this severe thunderstorm.
So one other thing too, this is getting pretty close to the station. Is there a way we can see our tower cam if we can try and turn this? Because we might be able to see this if there's anything going on here, or we might be ending up wrapped in rain. Okay, so if you're just joining us here, meteorologist Joe Reel and I, Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis, are going over our newscasts, making a lot of people mad, but we have a pretty serious situation here. We've had a confirmed tornado that took place about 20 minutes ago in northeast Oneida County. We have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in place. We have a tornado watch that was issued earlier this afternoon, a lot of rotating storms. And our biggest concern at the moment is we're watching a rotating storm that is moving into a very populated part of the WKTV viewing area. This is just to the east of, or just to the west of Utica. There's been broad scale rotation with it. It's not under a tornado warning. I want to make sure that that's very clear. It's not under a tornado warning at the moment, but it is showing some signs of broad scale rotation. And it's had a history of producing rain. We've had tornado warnings with this, several of them from this same storm to the west. And so these are the types of storms that we're going to be keeping a very, very close eye on.
Pop-up tower cam.
Yeah, it's, here, you know what, let me help you out. There's a...
So we can hear the thunder up here on Smith Hill. We can also hear the rain. But what Bill's trying to do right now is we have control of our tower cam so we can move it. And so with that, we're going to try and move this so we are looking to the south. because that is where that severe thunderstorm is right now, down towards Clark Mills as you head towards Kirkland area. So Bill's gonna try and see if we can move this. It's gonna be hard because you can tell there's a lot of rain associated with this. So we are going to keep an eye on, do you want the Nexus camera?
Yeah, let's say the Nexus camera.
Okay. Ooh, there it is.
All right, so where's our position? Can you,
Can I put the radar
actually,
back
you know
up?
what? We'll leave this up.
that?
Let's just look at the radar. So we can't see what's happening on the ground. It looks like,
But there is some rotation, right?
yeah, so you're getting, well, you're seeing the wind shear. So you're seeing the lower level winds. And yeah, there's broad scale rotation here for sure.
Frequent lightning, you'll also notice there's a lot of lightning associated with this.
Hold on, I'm gonna try and bring up our tower cam. We'll have two eyes on this.
I'm gonna put the radar on while Bill is doing this. Just to, again, reiterate what is happening right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this does include the Utica area as well as Marcy, Kirkland, New Hartford, Westmoreland, up towards Whitesboro, heading towards Holland-Patton, Floyd. Again, this is until 6:45. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning south of that, now impacting Hamilton, as well as up towards Madison, going to make its way towards Sangerfield, Waterville, up towards Marshall and Paris. So these are back-to-back thunderstorms that are now beginning to move into the area. Bill, do you want me to put the tower cam
Yeah,
up?
put up the tower cam for just a second. We've got a pretty good view of this. So if there is anything that's happening, we would be able to see this. And I am happy to say that I'm not seeing anything
That's good news.
alarming here. It's wrapped in rain to the west. Let's continue to go across. We're going to have a harder time seeing this as we're looking into the rain-wrapped part of the storm. But we have a good view of this. And so far, this looks pretty good. So we are in the clear for now. We're not seeing anything.
You can see how fast the clouds are moving too.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind shear in the environment today, and this is why we've been nervous. This is why we've been, so concerned about this situation. That this is different. The remnants of a tropical storm is providing a lot of extra wind shear in place, and it's causing these storms to spin. That usually is the ingredient that we're missing out on with a lot of these severe weather setups. We tend to get a lot of instability in the atmosphere, a lot of energy, just a lot of ability for the air to rise. But what we typically are missing is the wind shear, but we're getting it today, and that's why the storms are behaving differently.
Notice, too, on our tower cam, we're not right in the storm, but you can see those trees are moving pretty good at this point in time, and we aren't even in the storm just yet.
Yeah.
Let me put the radar back up just to see what's going on. That's a nice shelf cloud right there.
Yeah, we're looking at the
Let me put the Nexus camera back up.
Nexus camera, and we're going to watch this thing come right in here.
So again, this is just a severe thunderstorm warning at this point in time, but there has been indications of some kind of rotation. But that also means that there is damaging wind associated with this thunderstorm, as well as very heavy rain and frequent lightning. So again, if you can, go into an interior part of your house. This includes a bathroom or into your basement. You want to be away from the windows, even if it's not a tornado warning, just because of the lightning and the damaging wind that is possible. So we are watching this storm as it makes its way through Utica, through New Hartford, Whitesboro, Marcy, Holland-Patton. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning is until 6:45. So we are keeping a close eye on the potential of this storm as it continues to move into the Mohawk Valley. Again, we are watching this storm as Bill just put on our tower cam. You can see it moving into the Mohawk Valley right there.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good view of this. Again, our primary concern, the reason why we're continuing our coverage here is because we have several severe thunderstorm warnings that have this tag tornado possible. So even though it's not the information, the data that we're collecting is not strong enough for the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning like we saw in Forestport, things can change very quickly, and it's one of those days we're being extra cautious. So we're going to stay on the air for a couple more minutes here until we can see that this danger is passing. So we'll see the rotation weaken, or that this ends up clearing and moving to the east and outside of the more populated parts of our area. And we're kind of in waiting mode right now just to see if the Weather Service is going to issue an additional severe thunderstorm warning to the east. Because right now we have two different Weather Service offices that serve our area. Well, actually, we have three. Albany is in charge of Herkimer County. Binghamton is in charge of Oneida County. And we're going to see what Albany does here and how they approach this storm as it jumps the county line. If they issue a severe thunderstorm warning, we will start to wind down our coverage here as the threat starts to diminish, but they may end up changing their mind and they may end up ramping this up. We don't know. We're going to see how they
I also thought this is interesting that Utica is not in either warning. It's in between both the warnings. But if you live in Utica, take cover at this point in time. But what Bill's talking about with that rotation is when we see these greens and reds next to each other, that indicates inbound and outbound wind. So that rotating wind, this is just radar indicated at this point in time, but there is some rotation up in the atmosphere. But as we've been looking on our tower cam, the Nexus camera, we are not seeing any funnel clouds or tornadoes, but you want to treat this as if it was a strong thunderstorm, as we are seeing damaging wind as well as frequent lightning. You can hear thunder right here up on Smith Hill, as well as very heavy rain. You know, there's a lot of moisture associated with these thunderstorms. It's very humid outside, so we're going to keep a close eye on this severe thunderstorm warning. Again, it is impacting New York Mills. We just had a lightning strike close to here, up towards Maynard as you're heading towards Marcy. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning is making its way through parts of Oneida County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be impacting Madison as well as Sangerfield, Bridgewater, Town of Paris, Marshall, all the way up to Paris Hill Road, Chuckery Corners. So that is another severe thunderstorm warning that we are watching. As we head up north, again, where there was that tornado warning is now just a severe thunderstorm warning. This is north of Ohio, but south of Old Forge in Herkimer County. Again, I want to show you, Bill's and looking at our tower cam, I want to show you this severe thunderstorm that's literally making its way through the Mohawk Valley. This is from our tower cam up here on Smith Hill. We are hearing frequent thunder, so that means a lot of lightning associated with this thunderstorm, as well as some very heavy rain. Again, we've had indications of some kind of rotation, but we haven't seen any evidence of that on the ground level at this point in time.
Yeah, and see that we have a huge advantage here. We've got this great view of this thunderstorm. If there was a tornado on the ground, we would be seeing this. So we can say with a pretty high degree of confidence that this is not producing a tornado. There's a lot of rotation with it, but this is not producing a tornado. Again, this is not a tornado warned storm, but we had some suspicions and we're staying on television because there's an awful lot of rotation with this one. And it's something, and the rotation with this is moving right over Whitesboro, and it's moving to the north and east. This will likely go just north of the city of Utica, but if anything it changes here, the reason why we're kind of hanging on here and holding on for a little bit longer is because we know in these situations things change quickly. We have a lot of wind shear in the environment, and a lot of these storms look like they're kind of teetering out, and then all of a sudden they'll spin right up. And so that's why we're just being very, very cautious here. And we're going to hold on to this for a few more moments. We're going to continue to watch the situation very closely while these storms are in a very populated part of our area. And as Jill just pointed out here, the downtown camera, that looks like Scud.
That's a Scud cloud, yeah. So I don't want people to be alarmed. This is what we call a Scud cloud. It is not showing rotation at all. It's just a cloud that just hangs out at the bottom of like a thunderstorm. But sometimes people get this confused as a funnel cloud. It is not a funnel cloud. This is what we call a Scud cloud that could be associated with thunderstorms. So again, just want to reiterate the warnings that have now been issued by the National Weather Service. Again, as Bill said, we're going to see what Herkimer is going to decide to do as this severe thunderstorm is going to cross into the Herkimer County area. So that is the National Weather Service in Albany. Oneida County is the National Weather Service out of Binghamton. But right now, we are keeping an eye on that severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45. This now includes Whitestown up towards Marcy. Again, just outside of the Utica area. It is heading up towards Trenton, so Route 8 and Route 12 is going to be dealing with heavy rain, frequent lightning, as well as damaging winds. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in Madison County that's now crossing into Oneida County. We are going to continue to track that storm as we head into the next till 7 o'clock. That's going to cross over Route 20 at this point in time, as well as Route 12, so Sangerfield towards Waterville, heading up towards the town of Paris. And Bill just pointed this out. It is not in our viewing area just yet, but we're not done. There's more tornadic activity to the south, closer to Binghamton, so this is going to be a busy night across the region. But as of right now, our two areas of concern is the severe thunderstorm warning in Oneida County. Again, this includes Whitesboro, Whitestown, up towards Marcy, Floyd, Trenton, right along Route 12 and Route 8, as well as along the New York State Thruway. You're seeing some very heavy rain at this point in time. And then we have the also severe thunderstorm warning that's now beginning to move.
You realize what time it is?
What time is it?
It's MeTV time.
Me? Watch me.
MeTV has more than 60 memorable TV series airing every week.
Penny Mason.
Bonanza.
Andy.
Mama.
Carol. All in the family.
The Three Stooges.
Mash. Oh, clearance sale.
It's always a good time to watch MeTV.
Where are they?
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
MeTV.
Memorable.
Entertainment.
Television.